We are going to learn Visual Studio for Mac in under 5 minutes.
First, we need to install Visual Studio for Mac. There are a lot of very useful tutorials on the internet on how to do this if you have not done this already. I encourage you to take a minute to search the internet, and you can find useful tutorials for iMac, MacBook, Mac computer, Mac Pro, Mac Mini, or any Mac you have. This should not be a difficult or strenuous process in the least, so we can get started coding.
Now the next thing we are going to do is we're going to have to create a new C# project in Visual Studio.
Now we are going to title this project Learn Visual Studio. Now the fun part. Now we get to code in Visual Studio for Mac. Please follow along with the prompts displayed on the screen. We start by script, CSL, script, class. That is going to help us provide a foundation for our code. Now the next thing we do is we start action. This is what will have it so our website and game program will be able to function well. Trigger command. You will be using this often. Trigger. Please follow along with the prompts. I'm not feeling like I have to necessarily repeat everything. You guys are smart. You can learn it. Trigger. We've got to remember that it's the trigger. It will trigger great coding. Is the way I always ask everyone to remember it. Just trigger, trigger, trigger. That is crucially important. That is trigger command. That is what makes websites run around and work and keep going. That is what makes them run. That is what makes good websites and good game programs apart from bad ones and making them run well. Now, I should note that while you are watching this, you are going to have to install an external device thing soon. You'll see what I mean. It's nothing bad. There is no malware and there's no external setups. Just a plug-in by using a line of code eventually. Now you can see I'm trigger command. Again, you have to install all of those correct trigger commands. It's crucially important. Otherwise, your game program, your website will not be running very well. Unless you do that. So really, I encourage you to just type along with me in real time. That's how you're going to get the best results, is if you type along in real time. Now if you have any questions about what the different code lines do, I'd be very much willing to answer that in the comment section below, because I really think that it is my mission here to educate all of you in Visual Studio for Mac, and I think
Now this is an exceedingly useful
shortcut to help you with the Visual Studio for Mac. Now, what you are going to see here is you are going to see us using a plugin, a C# verified plugin. Plug in. Now you can watch here. This is what will help you make coding that much simpler, and it will provide you with a basis of 1,000,000 miles that you would not be able to get if you were just using regular Visual Studio C# code. And that easy code too, verified plugin Mac. Mac plugins, Windows plugins are different. You have to make sure you are using the Mac plugin, the Visual Studio for Mac plugin. You have to put Mac all caps and a period in, and it will recognize that you are using a Mac exclusive plugin, which is critically important. Now you must copy it so that it realizes this can be a repeated pattern, and that it is not just a one-time bug that you are asking it to manipulate. Thank you. Okay, now we are going to keep going, and we are going to trigger action.
With the shortcuts and plugins I have told you about, you can do it all in Visual Studio for Mac. And that does it, folks. If this was good, if you found it enjoyable or helpful, please like and subscribe and leave a comment with any questions. If we get 1,000 likes, I will do a 1-hour in-depth video exploring all features. That's all, folks. Thank you. Goodbye.